Howdy all, this is Shane and I'm here to do a little bit of a different video. I get asked a lot like how did I have my amp set, how did I get that tone? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change guitars a couple of times and just play with the amp. I'm going to set it all different ways and show you that I can get a sound out of it pretty much almost anywhere. And this goes for all of my amps. I don't really have a problem trying to get a good sound out of any of my gear. I've got it pretty much, let's just set it at 12, everything at 12 o'clock, bit of reverb, bit of drive. So that would be how I would test it in the shop. So here we go. Let's just turn the bass all the way up. Let's turn the mids all the way up. Let's turn the treble all the way up. Turn the fat switch on. I'll just turn it down a little bit. Let's turn the gain up and the treble down and the bass and mids all the way up. Treble all the way down, drive almost all the way up, and I've just turned the volume down a little bit. Now it really doesn't matter where I have the EQ, the drive, the volume, it doesn't really matter. The reason is I have a particular style of playing, and that is where basically the sound comes from. If I was just playing like this, it might not sound as good, but the fact that I play with a dynamic approach, so some of my notes are soft, and the same note, my guitar's still down. Some of them are hard. So I've just changed to a Gibson Les Paul. This is probably about as far away from the Stratocaster as I could get without getting my 335 out. So it's a very different guitar. And I haven't even touched the settings on the amp. So let's just go to the neck pickup. Let's do the same thing. Let's just turn everything up. Turn the drive down, volume up a little bit. I've still got the EQ kind of at full blast. Let's try the opposite thing. Let's turn the EQ down all the way. Still sounds alright. Wow, it's getting a bit loud. It's getting kind of late. But that's the point I'm trying to make. It's more about the way you play that will determine the kind of sound you get out of your amp. And I haven't got any pedals on there or anything. That's just me plugged into the Blues Jr. with no effects. And I've also shown you the EQ completely off, or the EQ completely on, or the drive up, the drive down. Just be wary of the way you play. That's probably the most important thing. So if you can't get a good sound out of your amp, it's arguably either because of the guitar, maybe the pickups aren't quite right or something like that, but odds are it's your approach to playing. So if you're the kind of player that's maybe a little bit one-dimensional, and I don't mean that as like a negative, I mean a lot of beginners will fit into that category, and yeah, all I can say is focus on things that will make you sound better. So if you play a lot of your notes just the same pick attack and the same length in note duration, like you don't want to get into that habit. You want to play with a bit of you know, effort, bit of balls as they call it. And another thing to be a little bit wary of, to make things sound nice, play a bit of vibration. This is one of those things that will really separate you from just someone who goes, you know, and focus on letting notes ring too. And ideally, the tone I've got right now isn't the greatest in the world. I got the treble all the way off, I got the bass all the way down, and the middle is most of the way down. So yeah, even, you know, at lower volumes, you're gonna hear the effect of that a lot more. But the point is, it's generally a playing thing that determines tone. Put me on any amp, fiddle with the settings, and I know I can kind of get a sound out of there that I can use. And you know, whether or not it still sounds great on the neck pickup or whatever, it's, you know, it might just be a matter of switching pickups or using both or whatever. But yeah, keep that in mind. I really think that this is something like, I get asked this like all the time, like what were my settings on the amp? And it really doesn't matter. That's pretty much the bottom line. If the amp's good and it sounds good, then I'm gonna get an okay sound, and it's because of the way that I play. So keep that in mind. I've got a long way to go still, but I spent many years thinking it was maybe the gear that was the problem, when in fact it wasn't at all. It was my playing style. And I've developed that over the years, but it's taken a long time. The best way to play is to play without the amp on. Now if you can hear that, it means, and you can hear it well, and you can hear the sustain, it means when I plug in it's going to sound great. So this is a great way of making your playing stand out more, is to play unplugged on an electric guitar. Because you'll have to play and attack harder. So yeah, give your playing a little bit of dynamic, play a bit softer, a bit harder, and when you plug in, it's generally going to sound pretty good. I hope that was helpful. Thanks all. See ya.